My name is Kyle Crane, and I'm dying. How the hell did I get here? In 2014, a virus was devastating the city of Haran in Turkey, turning people into undead monsters. Wanting to help, I joined an organization called the GRE that claimed they could stop the spread and save the world. They lied. 99% of the global population was wiped out. Those left fought to survive every day, but infected known as volatiles owned the night. They were fast, relentless, and damn near impossible to kill. Miraculously, some of us discovered we had a form of immunity to the virus, but our fate was worse than the infected. We were hunted, captured, and subjected to brutal experiments. I've survived 13 years of this torture. But I can't take any more. I'm at peace with dying. But I swear, if I had the chance to do just one thing, I would kill the bastard who's behind all this.
Vitals stable. Synaptic test on.
Hurry! Help me, quick! Get him up! Damn, I can't get these cuffs open! Hold on! Okay, got it! On the ground, now! You too! Drink him!
Yes? You want him out? It will be dangerous. If he finds out... Yes, I'm in.
Almost there. Extraction complete. Stem cells ready. Proceed with subject Alpha. Status report, now. Extraction complete, sir. We're just about to administer the serum to subject Alpha. I'll do that myself. He's delirious. He's running a fever. It's remarkable. His body keeps trying to fight it. Rise and shine, Crane. How are you feeling? Not quite like yourself? Not surprising after what we've put you through. Though I must say, you've proven quite resilient. Too resilient. Stubborn. Rebellious. Which is why I'm writing you off. I found a new test subject, someone very promising. So I won't be needing you anymore. He's already more compliant and obedient than you ever were.
I'm gonna kill you.
After all these years, you still have some fight in you. It would be admirable if it wasn't so pathetic. Let's see what a double dose does to him. It could be lethal. If it kills him, so be it. A noble sacrifice for the greater good.
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Not in this lifetime. Initiate the procedure. Notify me of any developments. Understood, sir. Ready for subject beta.
Now, inject the serum.
Damn it! He's waking up!
Hold him still. Inject him, quickly.
Oh, no!
Crane. Wake up. Wake up, damn it.
What the hell?
Oh my god. Crane, do you hear me? You need to grab the radio. The radio. That's it. Almost there.
I've got the radio. Who is this?
My name's Olivia. I'm going to get you out of there. But you need to go. Now, while they're still distracted by that monster that broke free.
Who are you?
Don't worry about that. Just get moving. Go. The doors behind you are blocked, but I found another way.
I'm listening.
There's a ventilation duct on the other side of the room, behind the bed. The vent will take you to the next room, and from there, to the hallway.
Just gotta keep moving. Where am I?
The recovery room. The doors. They should be open.
What the hell happened here?
One of the Baron's experiments. A subject got loose and went on a rampage. Just keep moving forward. The room on the left. Go inside. It's a storage room. On the shelf, you'll see some adrenaline. Inject yourself.
Heart's pounding like a motherfucker. What now?
Now, you need to get back to the main corridor.
The doors aren't opening.
Hold on. Try them now. The door on the left. Try squeezing through. Do you see the vent near the floor?
Yes, I do. But how do you see it?
The camera in the corner. Keep moving. Use the ventilation system.
Now where am I?
The main operating theater. The way out is on the other side. Try to avoid the infected. You're still weak. All right, now things are going to get tricky.
Tricky how?
You're going to have to go through the storage hold.
What the what?
It's where they keep the infected they use for research.
There's no other way around.
Sorry.
It's locked.
Hold on. I can't open it. Use the doors behind you. We'll go through Section B. But be careful.
Why? What am I walking into?
Imagine a morgue where everything moves and wants to kill you.
Fuck, great. You use the cameras to see me, right?
Yes,
Was anyone else watching?
maybe.
And then I guess I better hurry.
You're going to have to find your way through.
I guess this will have to do. Not opening.
I'm working on it. Damn it. Someone must have locked it. Wait, let me try the emergency override. All right, the elevator is coming. But other doors are opening too.
Come on! Come on! What the?
Unbelievable.
What just happened to me?
The burn reshaped you into something new. The elevator. Get in, quick.
What the hell is this place?
It's a research facility where the Baron conducts his experiments.
And I was one of the test subjects.
You were the main test subject.
What's going on?
Someone doesn't want you to get away. Time for me to go. I'm sorry. You're on your own now. You need to get out any way you can.
Shit!
Attention. Due to a security breach, lockdown protocols have been initiated. Attention. Due to a security breach, lockdown protocols have been initiated. Attention. Due to a security breach, lockdown protocols have been initiated. Attention. Due to a security breach, lockdown protocols have been initiated. Attention to a security breach. Lockdown protocols have been initiated.
Oh, shit.
Attention. Due to a security breach, lockdown protocols have been initiated.
Finally. Fuck. Hey, are you there? Do you copy?
Did you make it?
I'm outside, if that's what you mean.
Tell me what you see.
Trees, a trail, mountains. Where the hell am I?
Castor Woods, a small town in the Western Alps.
Are you shitting me? Europe?
I'll explain everything. But right now, you need to get to safety. The infected are everywhere.
So where do I go?
Downhill. Follow the trail. When you reach the edge of the forest, you'll see an old monastery. I'll meet you there.
Wait. Who are you? Why are you helping me? Hello? Hello? Great.